Oh, buddy. Okay. Um, this heat, this heat is something special. And I believe like all of the US is under some sort of extreme heat. If I'm wrong, you can tell me, but I want to get right into our topic of today because this platform has a couple of focuses. One, I like to focus on women's rights and topics that impact women because, hello, self-preservation. It's okay to be a little selfish. But then also, too, there is always a place to look at human behavior and the things that we do or say. That is what we're going to look at today. Human behavior in regards to death. So let's play some music and we'll get into it. Good afternoon. This is Gwendolyn, G.R. Houston Jack. You guys are tuning into Guuuuurl Listen, which is streaming live to LinkedIn and YouTube. So that's always a great thing. Or you may be watching the replay because, nowadays we don't have to always be someplace live for most things. We can always watch the replay. So if you're watching the replay, welcome as well. And I was just thinking the other day, actually yesterday, I asked my husband, I was like, am I supposed to be live tomorrow? And he looked at me as if I'd asked him some really weird question. Because he's like, I don't know. Which, I know I do this every 2 weeks, but the weeks are flying by. We are almost in mid-July. How is that possible? How do we get to that place already? I'm like, I don't understand how it happened, but this is where we are. So if you blink, life will pass you by. So before we get into everything, a couple of things going on. As I was mentioning, we do have a question of, I would say the hour, but it's more like 30 minutes, but still. We're talking about death today. And if you knew that today was your last, would you live life more fully? Now, people have asked this question in some of my college classes because it gives you something to think about. But it is something to think about. And as I do that, shout out to my mama. What's going on there, Ma? She's doing what she can down there in Houston. So blessings to all of you dealing with the heat and what have you. Hurricane did pass through. I understand that. And it does take time to get back to what we consider to be normal. But we are sending blessings and prayers and all the things we can. Natural disasters always, in my opinion, so this is just for me, all right, because I've gone through a couple. But when you go through disasters, there's always something that shakes your core that makes you really think about what you should be grateful for. Can I just say that? Because once the storm was over, my very first thought was, at least it was a fast hurricane. Like it didn't sit over the Houston metropolitan area and other areas and create chaos. Now, I will say this, when it became a tropical depression and storm and moved up north, it brought mad tornadoes. There were people clean up after yesterday. I want to say it was in Mount Vernon, day before, somebody correct me there. But these storms are some serious things, right? So respect Mother Nature, respect it. Shout out to Dr. Tachi. Good afternoon to you, ma'am, and impossible. Man, let me just tell you, the things that we have going on here. And it's so funny. Dr. Tachi is always here when I have stuff planned. I think somewhere in there, she's like in the back of my head someplace. But as you all know, we are entering into season 2 of Ladies Listen Up, which airs on Indie Soup Media. So if you have not subscribed to Indie Soup Media on YouTube, I am inviting you all to do so. And because I'm inviting you all to do so, I, of course, want to give you a sneak peek of next week's episode. Yes, just a little clip. Stereotypes about around Black women and sex, and you go into that.
Like I always call it the whole tape, right? So I have this theory of there's a whole tape that plays in the heads of like Black girls and Black women as they are blossoming and coming into themselves. And that whole tape could sound like anybody. It could sound like, your church mother. It could sound like your real mother. It could sound like other women in the community who are constantly judging you, right? Oh, look at how you're dancing. You're dancing like a whore. Look at, you want to wear red lipstick. Oh, those jeans are too tight. I mean, it's just like these random things that automatically moved you into being what we call, in the Black community, like a hoe, And so it's this whole tape. And it
Yes, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, Indie Soup Media TV. You guys, I have a great season 2 planned, and we're going to start it off with looking at the things that clearly people feel we should not talk about, but you know how I am. I'm going to talk about some stuff. So really quick, shout out to Tanya Fisher, who is here. Good evening. Good evening. We have Peggy in the building. Good evening first. And she said, at first I thought she said Hotep. Let me tell you about my friend Joe. The better version of Gwendolyn, which I say all the time. She's so gracious and absolutely amazing. But we can talk about some Hotep people too. We can do that too. But yes, we are excited for season 2. It will be amazing next Friday. So really want you guys to tune in because we have some great topics planned for season 2. And because I am a Virgo, I'm already working on season 3. So don't judge me. Don't judge me. Hello, Ron Foster. Hello. Let me talk about today. So today is I don't want to die. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about I don't want to die. Now, I'm not going to give you guys all of a sermon today. I'm going to try not to. But I got some stuff that I want to talk about. And, when I sit around and I'm out and about and I see other people, I'm observing human behavior, these topics just kind of come to my mind. So I want to give you a quick story about the lifespan of rabbits. And this is my this is my second bunny. This is the second bunny that I adopted, Rusty. He was a house rabbit, ran free in my parents' home. He ran free in my New York City apartment. And I just, I'm a Chinese zodiac sign is a rabbit. So I love being around rabbits, and rabbits are highly intelligent, snuggable animals. So, but I was told that rabbits only live to be like 7 years. Like they only live to be 7 years old, and then they kind of go the way of the dodo bird. I hate to say it like that, but it's truth. That's our average lifespan. And so, if you've ever had a pet, you understand that having a pet, that bond, that love, man, that is something else. And when you have to let them go, your heart hurts like nothing else, nothing. So when Rusty got to be like 6.5, I started planning for letting him go because I know that it's going to happen, right? But then 7 came and he was just as vibrant. And then 8 came and then 9 came. And I thought, this animal he's doing some things, right? Now, I have to tell you, he had a beautiful diet, okay? He had fresh hay, flown in, shipped in. He had collard greens, kale, parsley, cilantro, dry papaya, dried pineapple. He had his feed. He lived a good life, okay? So that could be why he lived so long. But he got to 10 years and there was gray in his back. And I noticed he was moving a little slowly and couldn't breathe and just, had a hard time doing some things. We had to let him go. Hardest decision ever, but I didn't want to see him suffer, right? Now, I bet you're thinking, what does any of this have to do with humans and death? Knowing that he had a limited time. If you've ever had fish or hamsters, those, some of these animals don't last very long. So you kind of get used to it. Like, okay, I'm going to have this fish, get a new fish because, But the longer they live, the more they become part of your family, and you start really feeling like, I can't imagine us separating. Like we've been together for so long. But it helps you, in my opinion, prepare for death. Now, I want to start with something first before I get into some other little things, right? Start with something first. Are you ready? Now, this is not about getting ready, all right? I'm not a financial advisor or anything of that nature, but I want you to think about some stuff, because what's beautiful, and I say this honestly, what's beautiful about the life that we live is that we have this illusion that we're in control. We leave our house every single morning, assuming that we're going to make it back that night, right? We assume that when we leave here, all of our plans, because we make plans, are going to happen the way that we thought, or should say, think that they should happen, right? Like we live in truly a la-la land. We control nothing except for how we react to what's going on around us. So when I talk about, are you ready? Do you have a will? Right? Do you have a living trust? Have you looked at the people who would benefit from you? I hate to say it like that. That sounds awful, but it's the truth. Have you checked your insurance? Do you have a plan for your digital footprint? Now, keep in mind, back in the day, we didn't have all these social media accounts and things that nature, like my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel has a lot of family videos, and I am purposely uploading my father's 8mm film, which we had digitized a few years back, here. So whether I'm here or not, it's here. So I would like for my channel to be memorialized. My father's Facebook account is memorialized. I happen to manage that. So you can put things in place for what happens to your digital presence once you're done. I know that sounds awful. And I don't know why I keep saying it sounds awful, because it's not. But I want to talk about something. I want to talk about our language. And this is where I'm going. Checking our language. Because think about how, and I'm going to say Western society looks at death. When we talk about aging, we make it sound as if aging is awful, right? I'm 12 years old. Now, I've been watching some of these young people. There's this young lady on Instagram. She's 80 and a half years young, and she jump ropes every day. Ooh, she be hurting my heart, because like I was out doing like this different jump rope routine. My legs are still hurting me, y'all. My legs are still hurting me, which my husband laughs at, because he's like, well, she's doing it. I don't know why you can't do it. She's 80 and a half years young. Getting older is a blessing. And yet we look at it as if it's something awful. So we sell anti-aging creams, anti-aging medicine, anti-aging services versus, and shout out to Beekman 1802 for making an adjustment, better aging. It is a blessing to see another day. It's a blessing, because some of us today didn't wake up, and some of us tonight are not going to make it home. We're not. That's the reality. That is the reality. But we talk about stuff as if, again, we have this control. Let's talk about eating. So when they talk about eating, you want to do XYZ to live longer. Now, I like how that sounds. I'm about food. I'm going to eat some stuff. I get it from my daddy. I'm going to eat some stuff. So when you talk about like what you should and shouldn't eat, I live to eat. There's no other reason to be here but to eat and drink and like dance. Like that's it. Nothing against some of the healthy stuff. But when they say, well, you can eat these things to live longer, it's like, does it really make, okay, so it may have some impact. I'm not going to say that it doesn't. It may have some impact. But why not just eat these things and have a healthier life? How about that? Because if you're thinking that you're going to eat all these chia seeds to live longer and you're like, I don't understand why. Yeah, things happen. We only control so much. One of the things that I do want to also talk about, and this is in our poll. If you go on the community tab, we do have a poll about this, and it is the words we choose to use when someone is grieving. When someone is grieving. Now, I will tell you, I do not use the word sorry for your loss. I don't. Because everybody on this earth, we don't belong to anyone. The good Lord puts you here for a little bit of time, whatever that little bit of time is. Okay? You're here. When you have ran your race, fulfilled your purpose, you are going to leave this place. But you don't lose somebody. That sort of sense of ownership. And forgive me if you're still going through the grieving process. I am still going through the grieving process, right? It's only been 2 years. But I have these conversations with myself and with others to wrap my arms around what really is. My dad was here, in my opinion, had a pretty good life. He's got some amazing children. Shout out to Black 8th Element in the building. He's not gone. When people see me, they're like, oh, you are definitely Clarence's daughter. Right? I'll tell you right now, I am my dad's child. Right? But we live forever through memories, through our stories, through moments. Like, that's how you live forever. It's not being put in some cryogenic tub and coming back sometime in the future. It's like, wrap your arms around what is. Wrap your arms around it. So I don't say sorry for your loss. You have lost nothing because you never had it. We're all here on borrowed time. Borrowed time. And the question is, how are you going to spend it? Like, when you get up in the morning, I get up in the morning, say my prayers, do a little meditation. When I leave this house, I say prayers again because the driving is like some kind of special right now. But I always ask to, have a safe trip and get back home safely. If it's my time, and if it's my time, right? But I ask for that grace. I ask for it. Hoping, wishing, although sometimes that's not really a strategy, but still. But I think about it. So I got to thinking about when people are ill. And I will say that death can be a little selfish. And hear me out really quick. Death, in my opinion, hurts more when you just saw somebody. We just had dinner last night. I just got off the phone with them yesterday. They were just at the job. She just clocked out. Like, when it just happened moments ago, it hurts. And I recall when my cousin passed away, we literally drove an hour to Houston, got home, had some nibbles. We were hungry again. We were all in the kitchen in the family room. And then the phone call came in. And my cousin, who I just saw at this party, was no longer here. It hurt so much. And then I thought, damn, what? Like, I don't understand how it happened. Now, fast forward to my dad. And this is when I talk about the selfishness, when we talk about our loss and how my mother, father, brother, sister was taken from me. As awful as it sounds, when people are sick, ill, it gives us time to wrap our arms around change because you know what the future is. And humans appreciate things that are predictable. We appreciate routines. So if I know that my grandmother, sister, brother, whomever is about to cross over, that my rabbit, my pet, my dog, my snake, whatever, is about to cross over, it gives us time to wrap our arms around the change. You may not think that you appreciate it, but you do. You appreciate those moments to be by their side, to do all the things you wish you had done, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. We appreciate it. Is it selfish? In my opinion, it's a little selfish. I'm not gonna lie about it, because I know it's coming. You know, I know that when we heard that my dad had lung cancer, I said, okay, great. Let me figure this out. Let's start planning for what the house looks like, sounds like, with him not being there. You know, now it went fast, but I won't lie to you. It was helpful. That little selfishness of knowing what's coming was helpful. So when I think about how we talk about death, the movies that we create, now I know you all know about Final Destination, where they are cheating death. Death is not going to take me. I get to choose. Okay, love it. The Sixth Day, death becomes her. There's one with Justin Timberlake and that other chick, In Time. We have all these movies surrounded around I'm not ready to die. So when exactly do we get ready? When do you sit down and put your arms around what's coming? Because it's a natural progression. This body, as much as I love it, it is very much like a car. And if you've ever had a car like last for a while, like I had my Camry for years, stuff starts breaking, it starts creaking. You know, the maintenance gets a little expensive. I mean, think about it. Things weren't meant to last forever. I don't think. Well, physical things. They all get a little bit of love into it. And at some point you say, you know what? I got to let this car go and get a new car. I got to get some new pots and pans. I will share in the community tab. I had a pair of jeans that I loved. They were so comfy. I kept adding patches to my jeans because I really liked them. And I remember asking my brother, how many patches are too many patches before you have to buy a new pair of jeans? And he's like, well, I don't know, 2. How many do you have? And I counted, I had 6 patches on these jeans. I loved them that much. He was like, gee, buy some new jeans. What can I tell you? I like to get my money's worth too. So we have these movies. We sell ourselves these products to not die. When the fact of the matter is it's going to happen. You cannot escape it. It is part of life. So the question is this: when do you get to live it? Because some of us are so busy. He's like, I remember that. Dr. Tachi, they do still sell patches that you can iron on for your denim. Yes, I still have some in my little sewing kit. So you can still patch up some things. I still put patches on my jeans. I mean, do y'all know how much jeans cost? I'm just saying. And to find a good comfy pair of jeans, not letting that go. Not letting it go. But yeah, he remembers me in those patches. I will share the photo in the community tab. No shame here. No shame, because I love them jeans. And they fit so well, but whatever. So when do we get to live in? When do we get to live in? So many of us are so afraid of dying that we choose not to live. Now, I don't know which one of those is better. I'm thinking the not living is not the thing. Some of us operate in fear, this fear. I don't want to go outside, and I don't want to, and I don't know about. It's like, so what you gonna do? You can't sit in the house all the time. Like, you gotta do something. Things happen. That's part of life. Things happen. Now, you can plan for some stuff. right? Like if you see a mob and it looks a little sketchy, I'm going to say you probably should go the other direction. That's what I'm going to suggest. Okay? That's what I'm thinking. Like, do that. Don't go towards it. But nowadays, since so many people believe that these natural events that are happening, like fires and other events, they see it as entertainment. Some of y'all don't know when not to be someplace. So throw it out there. The idea is, if you knew today was your last, would you do anything different? Or do we decide today, in this moment, that we are going to get to live it? Get out there. Spend time with your loved ones. Call the friend you hadn't called in a very long time. You know how people cross your mind? You know how you're sitting at the table or writing something and a thought passes. You're like, oh, I need to call so-and-so. You don't know why. In my opinion, that's the universe saying, hey, check in on your friend, check in on your family member. They're crossing your mind for some reason. That one time that you don't do it, and then you go to, I wish I had called her. I wish I had we got to stop with the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. The time is now. The time is right here and right now. If you haven't talked to somebody for a very long time, let it go. Pick up the phone and call them. And I know we call. Now, my mother, even before my father passed away, we started this family chat, this thread, and mother starts it off at 6:00. And when she's late, we get nervous. Now, it was the same thing that the work husband, Ron Foster, does with his touch base daily. Like if Ron is late, we're like, where's Ron? Is everything okay? Yes. 6:00, she starts it. And everybody chimes in. We check in. And then we check in sometimes throughout the day and then in the evening perhaps. But we want to make sure that everybody's good. What's going on? What's the deal? Sometimes we have ridiculous conversations that should be taken to a different thread. That happens. But it's what we do as a family. We want to make sure that everybody's in a good place. And even though you could call somebody, you could text them, you could do a video call. If you have the moment to put your eyes physically on somebody else, then do that. Go see them. That little quick 5-10 minute visit, you'd be amazed how great you feel with that 5-10 minute visit. Whenever I'm in Houston, and I'm in Houston a lot, I like to get out and see some people. Now, Houston's a big spot, so I gotta plan it. Sometimes I get on the north side. Sometimes I stay on the south side. Sometimes it's a lot to navigate. But get to living. Today is now. And you're creating these memories that will last a lifetime. That's how you live forever. So you know me, I got to end it with the Bible verse. I'm coming from Ecclesiastes 7, verse 2. Death is the destiny of everyone. The living should take this to heart. Yes, it's going to happen, children. It's going to happen. All I know is when it's my time, I would like to believe that I left a positive impression on people. I would like to believe that. I would like to believe it. I do know that my family loved them to the moon and back. My grandkids, my kids, my cousins, love them to the moon and back. The friends that I have created, both physically and virtually. This is good times. I have nothing that I would say I shoulda, coulda, woulda. We are doing all the things and absolutely loving it. So ask yourself again, when do you plan on getting to living? Ask yourself. That's the question. Because if you knew that tomorrow was your last, would you do anything different? Would you be more bold? Would you go for that job you thought you wouldn't get? Would you try to bungee jump? That's a no for me, but I'm putting it out there anyway. Would you take that last trip? Ask yourself all the things that we put to the side because we're thinking, I'll have time in the future. That beautiful illusion of control. It is beautiful. It's how we're able to walk around as if the world revolves around us because we don't really think about it. But think about it. Live your life to the fullest. And with that, I will say, make sure you have a great weekend. Be safe. It's really hot out. So if I could add in anything about being healthy, is to make sure that you get yourself some water. It's really, really hot out here. Do not take it for granted. And if you believe that you may have a little bit of heat sickness, Pedialyte is made for adults too. So don't think that Pedialyte is just for the kids. Pedialyte is for all of us. Get those electrolytes, drink the water. If it's too hot, stay inside. I mean, this heat is something serious. Y'all don't believe in climate change. Y'all gonna believe this year for sure. And I also invite you all to join the 𝐅𝐻𝐧𝐠 email list. I don't email that often. I email from time to time when it's necessary. I do believe in being organized, and I don't like a junky inbox. So consider that your note that I am not that person. Sweet. All right. So next Friday, season 2 of Ladies Listen Up starts. And then overall, if you have not signed up or subscribed to the Indie Soup Media YouTube channel, do so. Season 2 for all of us starts on the 15th. See you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you for watching another episode of Guuuuurl Listen. Be sure to tune in every other Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we also invite you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.